Hi everybody, welcome back to Escape to El Campo. You've just caught me mid-flow, as it were. I'm watering plants, and believe me, the irony of this is not lost, because we've just had, I don't know, 10-15 days of constant rain, and as you'll see in the upcoming video, we've planted 200 of these plants, remolaches, which are for the pigs to eat later on in the year, and our next batch of pigs, if this batch don't get through them. And since we put them in, we've not had a drop of rain. This ground's really dry, and the plants are dying because you haven't got enough water. So I think it's partly because it was under plastic, but you'll see that in the upcoming video. Like I say, it's been a bit of a mixed lot over the last couple of weeks. With the rain and stuff, we've not done a lot in the garden, a bit in the polytunnel. I've been doing lots of plumbing, which we'll show you about that, about the heat pump and other little bits and bobs. Yeah, so just me for this opening segment today. Emma's fine. She's indoors, in casa, baking cookies, because she volunteered to do some dessert for the vecinos dinner tomorrow, which we're going to for lunch. So that's when a lot of the members of the parish all get together twice a year to have lunch together, have dinner together. So Emma's doing some cooking for that, and then she's got to shoot off to go and do an English lesson. She's teaching a young lady down the road English. So she's flat out and can't be here to talk to you at the minute. So that's why she's not here. So a bit of a mixed bag for you this week. Hope you enjoy it.
So you've just watched us planting our onions, the onions that we've been promising to plant for the last few weeks, and I'm sure that you can hear that once again rain has stopped playing. But the bonus of that is obviously that them onions are now getting a good watering into the ground, so at least they're settling in nicely. But this is basically the perfect demonstration as to why our outside planting is so far behind this year. It's just that you seem to get sort of days or half days of lovely weather, and then it just turns. So just with everything else that we've been doing on the house and stuff, and trying to get the heat pump sorted, that's a bit of a bone of contention for Adam at the minute, is having troubles with that. Once again, I'm not getting anything planted outside. I am going to try and get some more stuff planted inside the polytunnel though, get some more seeds going, and I've been really looking into the companion planting for my tomatoes and for the cucumbers and stuff. So I've bought some short bean plants that I'm putting in here. I'm also putting in some spring onions with my tomatoes, because I've heard that they're quite good companion plants. So yeah, I'm just sort of sat in the polytunnel listening to the rain. I don't hate the rain, I do find it very frustrating, but whenever we used to go camping and it rained, I absolutely hated it, because you'd think that it had ruined a day. But there's something quite relaxing just about the sound of the rain against the tent and then against the polytunnel now. So I'm not complaining about the rain, I do appreciate the rain. I am a little bit fed up of the rain.
Okay, so I'm back on with the plumbing today. I actually finished this last week, wiring it all up, or piping it all up. This is our air source water heater. I think it's 200 litres or 250 litres, I can't remember now. Anyways, I finished wiring it up, turned on the water to fill it up, barring a few drips here and there, which I can sort out, not a problem. Everything seemed to be okay. However, when the tank filled up from the bottom there to here, this pressure release valve was blowing straight away. So the water was coming out of here, down here and out through the wall, through the overflow, how it's supposed to work. So that's good. But I was really surprised that the pressure release valve blew, because this is a 8-bar pressure release valve. So I was surprised that, you know, we were building up that, or the water supply was even 8-bar. So I went away and purchased up here, see that up there? So that's a pressure reducing valve, which I installed to reduce the pressure, because if it's 8-bar, it's obviously too high. We need about 2-bar going through this system. So I installed that, turned everything back on again. However, still no joy. This pressure release valve is still blowing. So presumably it's delivering more than 8-bar. I have changed this pressure release valve. I went and bought another one because I thought it might be faulty, but I'm getting the same result. So what we're going to do today is, up here, I'm going to install a gauge. I'm going to install a gauge to the left of that pressure release valve to see exactly what the incoming pressure is. I've also bought a new pressure release valve as well, in case this one's faulty. I can always take it back and get my money back next week. Oh, did you see that drip there? Yeah, so that's what I'm on with today. I'm gonna see what the incoming pressure is coming into this pressure release valve, see if the pressure release valve is actually working or not, and potentially exchange it for a new one, which has got a meter on it, so I'll be able to see the pressure going out. I'll be able to set it more accurately. So these pipes that I'm using, here are, so it's this, see if we can get this to focus. So it's this plastic pipe, which has got like an aluminium sheath running through it. So it's quite easy to work with, because you can bend it into position and it stays in position. Okay. Now the professionals, when they're using this, they have a machine that puts the fittings on the end. So I can see this. So this is a pressed fitting on the end of the pipe. I had to look at how much one of them was, and it was about 1,500 quid. And you need all the different dies for the different sizes of pipe as well, so that just makes it more expensive. So what you can also get for it are these compression couplings, which do exactly the same job. So that's what I'm working with, using these compression couplings. So the pipe itself just pushes into the fitting. Inside there's a washer, and it goes into the washer, and you push it home, and then as you tighten this up, the washer gets crushed onto the pipe, which makes a nice fitting on it. Inside the fitting there's a couple of rubber washers as well. So it seems to be working all right, apart from this. This is a one-way valve. I've got a slight drip on there, and as you just saw a minute ago, there's a drip coming from that pressure reducing valve, but that's coming off anyway, so I'll sort that out now. So as I just explained, this is the T I'm going to cut in for to put a gauge on it, so I can check the pressure on the incoming pipe work. So this is how this works. As you can see, this compression coupling. The 16mm pipe will push onto there, and as you can see, there's a copper, I presume it's copper olive on there, and that goes inside, and then that screws onto there, pulls everything tight, crushes that olive onto it, and everything's nice and tight. And as yet, touch wood, I've not had any leaks off of this type of connection. So this is the little pressure gauge setup I'm going to cut into the line. So 16mm pipe will come in this side, 16mm pipe will come in that side, with that pressure reducing valve just here. So we'll be able to see what the actual pressure is actually coming into the valve. Okay, so I'm going to cut that in now. So I've installed the pressure gauge and established that the system is working at, it's dropped down a little bit now, but it was at 4 bar, almost exactly 4 bar. I'm just about to take it out and move it along now. So I'm not sure where I got up to with the coverage on the old heat pump plumbing situation. So just a quick recap. I thought we were struggling with overpressure and too much pressure coming into the system. This is a pressure release valve which was installed just here as per the instructions. This is an 8-bar pressure release valve. So in order to measure the pressure up there, I installed a T-piece, put a pressure gauge on it and established that we had 4 bar coming into the system. So obviously not enough to blow the pressure out, but too much really for this system we need. I wanted it around about 2 bar. So I installed this pressure reducing valve, which has got a little gauge on the top of it. You can just about make it out there. And yeah, you can see I'm still dripping as well. So reduce the pressure down to 2 bar. So all's good. However, our friend here, the pressure reducing, pressure release valve at 8 bar was still blowing out. So I was stood here scratching my head, just about to go to the garage to get a sledgehammer out to smash this thing to pieces. And I happened to read this little red notice underneath here, which I think I probably read before. And it says on here, fix the temperature pressure safety valve. So a quick Google search reveals that a pressure temperature safety valve is a completely different animal to a pressure release valve. Now in the instructions from Hire, these people, Hire, there is no mention in there of a temperature pressure safety relief valve. They only ever refer to a pressure release valve, and they specify it at 8 bar. So we had a ring round and we found a temperature pressure safety relief valve here, luckily in town, so we didn't have to go all over the place for it, rated to 3 bar and 90 degrees. We put it in and hey presto, we're working. As you can see, the temperature of the water is up to 54 degrees. It's set to go to 55 degrees. So it's sat in there with 250 litres of 54 degree water, which is lovely and hot coming out the shower. And we don't have to wait for the old gas boiler to kick in anymore because it was very temperamental. And the temperature pressure safety relief valve has saved the day. So there we are. It's all good. It's all working. So I've changed the this valve here. I've had 2 pressure relief valves on there to make sure I didn't have a faulty one. I've also replaced the pressure reduction valve twice to make sure I didn't have a faulty one of them. The second one I bought one with a gauge on it, so I knew that it was actually working. And here we go. We're all good. Still got a drip, as you can see from up above I just showed you, and also there's a drip from this one-way valve. But I don't need this one-way valve anymore. I'll put this on here because when I was piping this up, it was all piped up with our gas boiler still on the system. So I was concerned that the gas boiler would be pumping hot water down this pipe into this when it was stood here, waiting to be sorted. So I put a one-way valve in there just to stop any hot water coming back down through the system. And it's worked, and I don't need that anymore. So I can replace this section of pipe from here to here with one continuous piece of pipe and take this one-way valve out. So that'll get rid of those 2 little leaks. And I'm gonna have another go at this leak up here. I'm gonna see if I can get a washer or something inside that where it's leaking, and that should stop it. I'm hoping. And once that's done, we're all tickety-boo. We're all up and running. Excellent. Just need to get the solar panels in now to power this thing, and away we go.
good job that I came down to have a look at that and not just carried on with my day. Adam's recently fixed the well, and we've set up our water system in here from our well, and it turns out that the pressure's a little bit too tight, a little bit too high. And because all of the sprinklers aren't all open at the minute, because we're not at full capacity in here, occasionally we keep getting blowouts. So now, hopefully, can't do it any tighter. If I go and turn this back on, hopefully that should now stay in place. So far so good. The piggies are shouting at me. So those of you that watched last week's video when we did the April land tour will know that it was looking very empty in here, and that I was having problems with growing my own plants from seed. And I've not given up, let's not say that I've given up, but I did pop down to our local plant shop, agricultural shop, and I have bought some cucumber plants that are in down here. I've also bought some pepper plants. I've got 2 red and 2 yellow pepper plants that I've put in just here. This one's looking a bit sad. We think that these tops get clogged up with dust, and when they dry out, sometimes they don't just come straight back to life.
They're supposed to be time saving, but I'm not sure they actually are, because you spend that much time messing around with them.
Yeah.
You may as well just fill a water can up and go up and down with them.
Yeah, but then my arms would ache. Like this one, look, doesn't want to come out. I'm loosening it, and then all of a sudden, it's weird. Anyway, so I've got 2 red and 2 yellow peppers here. And I've also ordered some jalapenos and some guindillas, which is another kind of spicy pepper. So I'm excited about them. They'll be going in here next week as well. And then to my left here, that one's just sprung to life, but it's all right. I've got 5 gigantes and 5 marmandes tomatoes, and they're both a variety. Ellie, get off! They're both a variety for making sauce, because we make all of our own tomato sauces and stuff. So we're starting to look a bit more coming to life in here. I do want to fill the rest of this row with tomatoes, and I haven't quite given up on all of my seeds yet. I mentioned that I was going to put some seeds into just some normal compost, and they are still tiny, but they are now coming to life. These 3 pots here are ones that are self-seeded from last year's tomatoes, and these ones here, I didn't think that they were quite big enough to go out yet. This is how the neighbours grow their tomatoes, just in pots from whole tomatoes, so I'm giving it a go. So hopefully in the next week or so they'll be ready to go out. But all of the other things that I've moved from my seed trays into individual pots using just bog standard soil out of the polytunnel floor that has obviously been fed with our compost, but it's not particularly potting seed soil or anything special. These now are doing really well. Oh, apart from that one that's been eaten by a snail. Oh, that's a shame. That one was doing really well as well. Right, we need to have a look into some natural deterrents for snails and things. So yeah, things are looking a lot better in here, thankfully, at last. onions are bone dry, like no water's come out of them at all. You're right, it's not very time saving, is it?
Is the water coming out of them now?
No, because there's no hose pipe connected.
Oh, good point.
Should do now. So I think as well part of my problem was that I was overwatering these. So I'm being a lot more careful. Just give them a drink rather than a soak. I hate this watering can. Yeah.
Albie, have you got your ball? Are you ready for playing? There
we go, pretty drink.
I'll just tell you what's going on with this this manifold here. So the black pipe coming in from the right hand side there, that's coming from the IBC tanks at the top of the hill. But obviously in the summer and when it doesn't rain so much, they get emptied. So on the left hand side, what we do and what we're doing at the minute is back feeding the supply from the house well. So it's coming in sort of backwards, up backwards through the tap, and then feeding the irrigation system in the polytunnel. And then when we just want to fill a watering can up, we just turn this tap off, disconnect this, and then we can fill the watering can up. So it works either off the IBC or off the well, which feeds the house. So I've just been retrieved the pig bowl. As you can see, I've screwed two big heavy lumps of wood on the bottom in the hope that they stop picking it up and carrying it around and taking it into their sty. Because that's the last place I want to go, is in their sty. There's already 3 bowls in there and we won't get them out until we move the sty now. So, however, all this is done for them is give them a leverage point to get the nose under here and just tip it straight up. So I'm not sure we've actually gained anything by it. Each one of these scoops is about 1 kilogram. So we're up to about 3 kilograms twice a day now, so 6 kilograms of food for the 2 of them. You coming in?
I'm not getting in with the pigs.
No. So I think compared to last week, where we've reduced the area that they can get into, you can see the effect. I mean, they've almost rooted the whole of this area up now. So I reckon another couple of days, perhaps Sunday afternoon, we'll move them out of here into this one here and see if we can get a similar sort of effect again, where they just root the whole area. Last night when I came down, there was a hole halfway to Australia just here, but they seem to have filled it back in again now. Oh, and also you may notice behind where the pigs are, see the field's been ploughed. Yeah, the gardening fairies turned up again and ploughed our field. So they've slurried it and ploughed it. So yeah, great. Thanks, fairies.
feel that sunshine.
That's that strange yellow thing in the sky.
I might have to actually take my jumper off, can you believe it?
At least your bread will be rising.
Yeah, I make all my own bread. And at some point I will film me making my own bread because I do sourdough. And I'm used to it this time of year, starting it in the morning. So we're having a salad tonight. We want focaccia. And I'm used to starting it in the morning and it'll be ready for the evening. Today, because it's so cold in the house, I've had to put it in the polytunnel to rise. But yeah, you're right, at least now it's sunny. It will be rising. Come on, that's enough. So Adam's just had this genius idea of soaring the top of the hay bale. He's already done it. He's just being silly. Oh, you're such a good presenter.
Aren't I?
Yeah. So now we're going to find out whether it really was a genius idea and how easily this does now come off. What?
Emergency exits are here, here, and here.
You look more like something off of QVC, to be fair, love.
Ready?
Yeah. Are you ready?
Perhaps the thought wasn't the way to go. No.
No.
This whole lot's coming up anyway,
Okay. Okay.
I've got to saw this bit as well.
I'm hoping that Pepe doesn't actually watch our YouTube videos. We're obviously friends with him on Facebook and we do tag him when we say thank you to him for doing jobs and stuff for us. But he kindly gave us this massive straw bale and he did sort of explain to us about the way that he'd strung it to get the hay off. And at the time I thought I fully understood. And then when it actually came to doing it, I didn't have a clue. So I hope he's not now watching this. If so, and you've got subtitles on so you understand what I'm saying, Pepe, feel free to pop round and laugh at us. We don't mind, we're used to it. That'll do, won't it? Oh, he's going for it. I'm going to film you now walking with this because I feel like this is going to go everywhere.
I think that's alright.
Alright then. It's a scarecrow!
Wurzel Gummidge.
Who?
You won't know Wurzel Gummidge. Too old for you. Where's that little dog? You're not the target audience for Wurzel Gummidge now.
I'm not sure that our Spanish viewers are target audience. Just going to pop and show you the nice clean pool that's, you know, perfect weather for it.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. Oh, there's the first load gone.
We need some sort of net.
We need for the children not to be cleaning out the hens at the same time that we need the wheelbarrows.
I'm not going to have any trouble finding my way home anyway.
Yeah, I'm not sure that loading the barrow with that much. Oh, it's entertaining for Reggie. Nicely negotiated, Clarky.
I wasn't going to fall over on camera.
That's a shame. Oh, pigs are all excited. I think that's as much of his load that he's dumping, so I'll go.
Come on then, pigs. Come on, pigs. Good piggies. Come on, piggies. Come on, piggies. Come on, piggies.
Here she comes. No, he's still being a bit nervous.
He's checking out the house.
Woo! Come on, Daddy Pig.
Come on, Daddy Pig. Hey, Pig. Hey, Pig. You got your knife?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Yeah, can I just cut that?
It's only a little. It's only a little girl knife.
I don't want them chewing this.
Come on, Daddy Pig. Oh, she's having a good wander already. He'd rather stay in the mud.
I got some food while he's over there. While Piggy's over there.
Yeah. What we could do with him getting a move on really is we get actually fence back on before she starts.
Running around like a loony bin.
Yeah, well, she's already starting. Come on, Daddy Pig.
Come on, Daddy Pig. Come on. Come on then. Come on then. Come on then. Too busy playing in the puddles.
Come on, Muppet.
I thought he was going to lie down in it.
Wouldn't be the first time.
I love the tan they've got now compared to when we had them, when they were bright pink little piggies.
You've blown bubbles. You're a daft pig. Oh. Yep. Yep. You're a stubborn old goat, you are.
It's happy as a pig in mud.
Literally. Wow. I think we could be here sometime, love. Yeah, that's it. You go in, because he'll chase you now. Stay in.
We love that. We love being chased by the pigs.
Well, I love you being chased by the pigs. It's quite amusing.
Oi, Fatty.
I thought he was responding to that then.
So we've nearly moved the pigs. Just stubborn Daddy Pig won't go across into the new pen at the minute. But they've been in here a week, and you can see the destruction they've done. So I think they've done a good job, and I think our plan of restricting the area of where they were seems to have worked. One thing we have noticed though is that whilst they are rooting around, I think these roots in here are still this bindweed stuff that we wanted to get rid of. So they're clearly not eating it. I don't blame them, to be honest. It's tough and horrible. But maybe our plan of the pigs getting rid of all the weeds in here, well, specifically the weeds that we wanted removing, has not quite worked. But anyway, we'll see how we go. So a week in here, and then hopefully the weather will have changed a little bit. It'll get a bit warmer. We'll get them up in the woods, which is going to be fun, getting them up there, as we can't seem to move Mr. Pig 5 meters from there to there, let alone 100 meters from here up to there. Oh well, it'll be fun. It'll make interesting viewing if nothing else.
So we mentioned a couple of weeks ago on our April land tour that in this space here we were going to plant loads of squash and things, and that plan has now changed because one of our neighbours has asked me what I was planning on growing for the pigs to eat, and I said, well, the corn, and she said, well, what about remolacha, which in English is beetroot, and I says, oh, I'd not really considered that. She says, well, I'm buying 500 plants for my 2 pigs, do you want me to order you some? And I thought, well, 500 seems quite a lot. Order me 200 and we'll plant them. So they are going to be going in this patch this afternoon. She subsequently has told me that the ground needs preparing, and by that she means it needs mounding. And you mound it like you would a potato. You have to mound it, and then you put the plant in the top of there, and then that gives loads of space, loads of like loose space, I think, for the fruit to grow, for the veg to grow, sorry. The veg being up to 2 to 3 kilograms each. So I might have some small regrets. We might now be in a massive rush to get this done and the first rain-free day in a while, but let's crack on.
Plastic back you've just seen, and I can't remember when we put it down, to be honest with you, but this is what we're left with. You can see where the beds were before, where there was a bed there, a bed here and a bed there, and these were the grass paths going down in between. You can see this is the couch grass or couch grass or whatever it's called. Yeah, it looks, I mean, I don't think it's completely dead, but it looks dead. But the issue is with the stuff underground. So we're just going to have a little, put the fork in and see what the state of the roots are down there. I'm not expecting this to be good. Yeah, so as you can see, this is the issue. Here, these roots. What we're currently debating is that if we put the rotavator on here just to till all this over, these roots are going to be chopped up even finer. I mean, I'm not sure how many more we can get than what we've already got. You know, are these viable now or not? I don't know.
For anyone that's never come across this couch grass stuff before and not heard us moaning about it before, the thing with the roots of it is that when you're pulling it out, if it breaks, any tiny little bit that remains is capable of then regrowing into a new grass, basically. So for one root, if the rotavator cuts it up into 10 pieces, then you've got 10 more bits of grass that are going to come back. Potentially.
You know, have we, with having that plastic on, have we done enough damage to kill it? I don't think so, because when we've done research on this before, we know we have to leave the plastic on for 2 years.
And we perhaps left it on for 6 months.
Yeah. But we've got these plants coming, so we need to get them in. So it might be just a case of we get it in and see what happens. You see, they just run forever, these roots. But you can see they just keep going and going and going.
So what do we do?
What do we do? We're debating whether to go and get a plough attachment to put on the back of the rotavator, take the tiller arms off, or the rotavator arms, put wheels on it, and then put a plough through to disturb the ground less, or in bigger lumps. So there's less being chopped up. Less being chopped up, less grass.
Or just a mound of attachment if they do one.
Or a mound of it,
We've seen that you can buy one, it's just whether or not
they've got one.
They've got one. Well, we'll discuss off camera and let you know shortly.
So we decided that rototilling it wasn't perhaps the best way because it'll break all the roots up. So we just nipped out and we bought a plough for the back of it. So we're going to plough it, hopefully into a mound in the middle where Emma can stick her, what they call them, remolachas in, which are food for the pigs. So the rototiller arms came off where these wheels are. So that's what used to till the land up. But now these wheels are on it, and we have this plough on the back. Never used this before. This could go horribly wrong. Let's find out, shall we? Go. You recording? That's too hard.
So have we got to rotivate it first then? Okay.
We could try and rotivate it and plough it at the same time.
It's only going to work going one way though, isn't it?
Why?
Because when you bring it back again to make the full furrow, back to the drawing board. So we haven't filmed all of this because time is ticking away, the night is drawing in and we've still got to get this done. And filming just sometimes takes too long. Anyway, so I think we're on to a bit of a winner. We ended up having to rotivate all of this. So the attachment that we bought, Adam has to take it back off, put the rotivator back on, rotivate the soil, which is not a fast job. I have then gone, you believe this or not, I have gone over this with a rake and taken all of these roots all out. Hey Reg. And then Adam has been down once and twice with the new plough attachment and it has worked. I got summoned. So yeah, Adam here has done one pass going down this way and then he sort of came back with another pass coming down this way to make this mound in the middle, but it just wasn't quite working right and it wouldn't go in properly. So he's messed around with his tool and we think we're now onto a winner. So this here is now just one pass. Now it's not a massive mound. I don't know how well you can see. This is a dip. The dip is down here. This is the mound. That's quite difficult to demonstrate. So we're just going to do one pass. So Adam's now coming back now with the second row. So a completely separate mound. And we're going to see what that looks like.
There we go, uncovered after the winter hibernation, rotivated, ploughed, sort of, and planted with 200 remolachas to keep our pigs fed as we move into the winter. Job well done. So I think this is the latest we've ever worked planting stuff in the garden. So I think it's about 9:30, 10:15. I'm ready for a beer and some dinner. So after rotavating to soften the ground up a bit, we actually got the plough working. I think one of the issues was that I was trying to go too deep with it initially, and also you can see the blade at the back. The angle of attack of it was too shallow, so it was just sort of bouncing along off the hard ground underneath the sort of topsoil. So I've made it more aggressive, and so when it pulls forward, it sort of naturally bites into the ground. Yeah, so that's it sort of worked. We've sort of got some well, as you've just seen, we've sort of got some furrows and what do you call the top bits? Who knows?
Mounds.
Mounds, furrows and mounds. Let's call them mounds. Yeah, so happy days. And also, Zane and I are now like a Formula 1 pit stop crew, changing the wheels on this from the cultivator over to the wheels for the plough, because we've done it 3 or 4 times now. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you again next week. Bye.